Welcome to Sam's Club, my friends, and today's video is all about the meat and the seafood here at Sam's Club. And I just did a walk around. I have not seen this kind of stuff in a while. We're talking assortments of Bobby approved chicken, unbelievable cuts of steak and seafood, both in the fresh cooler and the frozen cooler. So we're gonna walk around and check it all out. Before we dive into the video, I do also want you to check out thrivemarket.com using my promo link down below. Thrive is a very long supporter of the channel. Thrive also has frozen boxes of really good grass-fed steaks and pasture-raised chicken you can order. But the reason why I like Thrive is pretty much anything you'd find at any grocery store is on Thrive Market, but it's cheaper than the grocery store. You save about 32 bucks compared to going to the store. And my link down below gets you 30% off your first order and a free gift. And they're running a back-to-school sale, the 19th through the 26th, with 25% off hundreds of items. So if you want to sign up, now is a great time using my link down below. Now is also a great time to get grass-fed, grass-finished steaks at Sam's Club. Costco doesn't have grass-fed steaks. They have grass-fed ground beef, and sometimes it's very hard to find. Well, look at this. A 4-pack of filet mignons, a 2-pack of grass-fed strip steaks. This is Thompson Farms, if memory serves me correct. This is the same brand that has the grass-fed beef at Aldi sometimes. And I was just talking with Leilani. For some reason, you always see grass-fed strips and ribeyes. You almost never see the fillets. What do they do with the fillets, you're saying? Do they sell them to restaurants or something? This is a 4-pack for 30 bucks. So it's $19.99 for 100% grass-fed, grass-finished fillets. The marbling is actually nice on this. This is amazing. You almost never see that at the store. And then we got a 2-pack of strip steaks here for $12.98 a pound. Solid deal. My only qualm is look at the marbling on most of these. It's kind of non-existent. This one has a decent amount of marbling. Marbling is fat. Fat is flavor. So these might be a little lean for my choice, but filet mignons. If your Sam's has it, leave a comment, let us know, because I've never seen it any other Sam's. Great deal for sure. And sticking with the grass-fed beef theme, they've always had this, but talk about a great price on organic, grass-fed, grass-finished. By the way, you always want to make sure the meat is either 100% grass-fed or grass-fed and grass-finished. That means it doesn't have any grain at all. $4.98 a pound for nice 85/15. That's a good ratio of fat to beef. I prefer 80/20. And Walmart seems to be the only people who have that. But at $4.98 a pound for this, compared to slightly different, but this is 88/12, so 88% beef, 12% fat, is $4.58 a pound. So this is about 40 cents cheaper per pound. But remember, that meat is not grass-fed. That meat is only eating grains, and it could fall under the factory farm kind of beef. This is pasture-raised, grass-fed beef. You turn these into meatballs. And if you want to keep your meatballs low carb, I'll put a recipe down below on my blog. I use almond flour, which they have a great deal here at Sam's Club. And you mix in a little bit of milk and seasoning and Parmesan cheese. It makes a great meatball. And then let's stay in the red meat theme here. I eat a steak, right? Red meat, probably 4 to 5 times a week. I absolutely love it. The only person who eats more red meat than me is probably Paul Saladino. He has it for breakfast, probably lunch and dinner. But lamb, only 40% of Americans have ever tried lamb. And you all are missing out. Lamb is so delicious, especially when it's Australian. Halal certified is nice. Oh, Thompson Farms, once again, pasture-fed rack of lamb. I could almost guarantee, it doesn't say it, but I could almost guarantee this is 100% grass-fed. About, 7 years ago, I went to Australia with some other food bloggers, and the Meat and Livestock Association of Australia flew us down there. It was an amazing trip. And they almost always do grass-fed. They don't use grain because they have rolling hills of grass. There's no point of even using the grain. If you want your gateway into lamb, it's rack of lamb. It's not too gamey, whereas like leg of lamb is gonna be super gamey. Even I don't like it sometimes. $14 a pound is about the same price as Costco, but way cheaper than any other grocery store. I have a great recipe for this too. I'll link it down below. Cut these into individual chops, spice rub them with like cumin, smoked paprika, put them on the grill, and serve it with a green tahini sauce. Lovely. These are awesome. I absolutely love them. And then $6 a pound is your budget way to get into lamb. And it's actually such a great deal. They're called lamb loin chops. And if you look here, the little baby fillet is on that side and the baby strip is on that side. You can grill them, you can sear them in a cast iron pan, or you can sear them and braise them for about 2 hours in bone broth. I've done that and the meat falls apart. It's a really good deal. This pack is $9.57 here and you get really high quality meat. In that meat is obviously protein, right? I mean, chicken has protein, but in that meat is something chicken doesn't have. Extra vitamins, extra minerals, extra iron, really nutrient dense, whether it's that grass-fed beef, whether it's that grass-fed ground beef, grass-fed lamb, all that amazing deals. Wow, high five to Sammy. I feel like chicken tonight, like chicken tonight. This is a ridiculous selection of chicken here. Blows the pants off of Costco. Costco has a couple of cuts of organic chicken, but that's it. This is a heck of a variety. How about Farmers Focus organic boneless, skinless chicken thighs here? Thighs are $5.28 per pound, but it says they have tenders. There we go. And chicken tenders for the kids. Wow. So organic is the best you're going to do at a club. It's very hard to find pasture raised at any grocery store. Sprouts has the pasture raised chicken I bought. But $5.98 for chicken tenders. Organic is really nice because it has the certified non-GMO symbol on there. It means that they're not eating GMO grain, which is really important to me because we are what we eat eats. So tenders, great. Chicken wings, $3.42 a pound. Throw those on the grill, you're good to go. There's the chicken thighs. Over here, the boneless, skinless ones. Boneless, skinless chicken breast, $5.28. But what I would do, if you really want to stretch your dollar, get a whole chicken. So you have to buy 2 of them, but it's $2.47 a pound. So you're walking away with 2 chickens here. Please don't leak on my hands. For $25. That's just moisture, thank God. $25 for 2 chicken. Leilani's making a face like, give me the soap. $25. Why do I like this? Because you can butcher this into your own cut. And what can you then do with the 2 carcasses in here? You can make really good bone broth. You put the leftover bones in a pressure cooker for about, I think the recipe is like 3 hours, and it extracts all of the collagen and gelatin and good minerals out of the bone. And I'm talking gallons. You can probably get 2 gallons of bone broth out of that. That's the most economical thing you could do. But you have your pick of the litter here. And compared to Costco, which I believe only has organic chicken breasts and organic chicken thighs, not even whole chickens, not even tenders, this is awesome. Also on Thrive Market, I mentioned earlier, they have pasture-raised chicken. They'll ship to you frozen, and they have the grass-fed steaks that I had. Remember earlier I said how those strip steaks were a little too lean?
Edit me out.
Yeah.
Hi, Bobby.
Oh, how's it going?
Bobby approved?
This is Bobby approved.
There we go.
Absolutely, yeah, perfect. I'll keep you in the video if you don't mind.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice to
Bye.
meet you. Those steaks over there were a little too lean for me. The ones I get are actually from Thrive Market. They're called First Light Steak Club. They're Wagyu, grass-fed, and the marbling's amazing. So if you want to grab those steaks and chicken, my link down below gets you 30% off your first order and a free gift. Good deal. I see some great selections of fish. Now, don't be confused. Just because this is not frozen fish, it's not fresh either. We're going to talk about frozen seafood in a second, but this has been caught, frozen in transport, and then defrosted here. So it's not fresh, but it's totally fine. But the main thing I want you to focus on when you're looking at fish anywhere is farm raised versus wild caught. And they have an amazing, I repeat, amazing selection of wild caught seafood. This is one of my favorites, black cod, AKA sablefish. Wild caught from Alaska. This is a beautiful fish for $11.48 a pound. My favorite way to make this is miso marinated. Actually, fun fact, this was the recipe I made for Desi on our second date back in 2008. And fun fact also, it was just our 14-year wedding anniversary this past week. I made her miso marinated cod with braised baby bok choy on our second date, and the rest is history. This is a lovely fish. I highly recommend doing that, or like an Asian teriyaki or soy marinade. Look at this. This is snapper fillet. Wild caught snapper here is a delicious fish at $10.98 a pound. Now, what I don't want you getting is what I call the garbage of the ocean. So this is tilapia. Tilapia is so cheap. There's no such thing as wild-caught tilapia. It's all farm-raised. This one's from Brazil, but farm-raised is a major no-no. We don't want that. What we do want is an amazing deal on sockeye salmon, wild-caught from the USA. Not just wild-caught, USA. It's processed in the USA too. We've talked about this in the past. They get tricky. Sometimes they'll catch the fish here and send it all the way to China to process it, to break it down, package it, and bring it back. Walmart, we're talking to you in your frozen fish department. You don't want that. You want USA all the way. And this is USA all the way for $10.98 a pound. And let's do a little price comparison because, $10.98 a pound also. But this is for farm-raised Atlantic salmon from Norway. Okay, there's something very different about these two. The farm-raised fish is big and thick and fat and pale. The wild-caught is skinnier, muscular, more fleshy, and very orange. That's because the wild-caught one is wild and crazy guy, and he eats krill and seaweed and stuff like that that makes the natural color. This one only eats man-made feed, and they have to put beta carotene in there to make it orange, otherwise it'd be gray. Farm-raised is highly inferior, especially when it's the same price as wild-caught. But I know why people do it, because it's fattier. And a lot of wild-caught salmon, like sockeye or coho, is very lean, which is why I like to cut it off of the skin, put it into a food processor with avocado oil mayonnaise, lemon juice, salt, pepper, fry up salmon patties with tartar sauce on top. Lovely recipe that's so easy. I'll put a link down below. That's how I cook sockeye and coho. And at the same price as inferior farm-raised, you want wild-caught USA all the way. There's only one option if you want wild-caught shrimp. I couldn't find it over in the fresh or defrosted section. And you actually have to look pretty hard because they have a lot of easy peel shrimp here. They have cooked shrimp, which I would never get because they're already cooked. And by the time you reheat them, they overcook and they're rubbery. But it's all farm-raised, except for, boom, the black box, wild-caught Argentine extra large shrimp. Fun fact about shrimp and scallops, which I see a really good one over there. The words large and extra large and fancy doesn't mean anything. It's about the number. So these are 1630s. There's 16 to 30 of them per pound. The really large shrimps will be like 8 to 12. Those are usually more expensive. But these are beautiful. They're red shrimp. They're not cooked already. They're just Argentine wild caught. And when you compare that to the plethora of farm raised they have, the same is true with wild caught versus farm raised shrimp as it is to fish. This is from India. Oftentimes they're from Vietnam. And there's a great seafood documentary called Seaspiracy online, and it shows that in the shrimping business, specifically like in Vietnam and Southeast Asia, they'll use really bad practices of the actual farming, but they'll use like slave labor to capture the fishermen and keep them on the boats for months and months. You only want wild caught. It's superior flavor, it's superior texture. It's a little more expensive, right? But it's well worth it. So this is your only option for wild caught shrimp at Sammy's. And we see more frozen wild caught. So they had the black cod over there, they had the red fish, but if you want frozen to keep in your freezer, look at this. You have wild caught cod, wild caught mahi-mahi, wild caught flounder, all wild caught, all frozen, ready to be defrosted and eaten whenever you want. I love all of these options. I mean, $17.98 for cod is great. Cod is very nice to be like battered and fried if you want to do a fish fry. We come on down here, there's wild Alaskan frozen salmon if you want it in the freezer too. But what I really like, if you want to be fancy, right, for those times you want to splurge, lobsters are never farm raised. They're always wild caught, and scallops are always wild caught. They're never farm raised. And these are really good scallops. I don't know if you've heard of it, but Japanese Hokkaido, they're from the Hokkaido region, are very sweet, beautiful scallops. And they're on sale right now, £1.5 pound for $24. Go to any fishmonger at any store. They're usually much more expensive. I would just defrost these and then pat them as bone dry as possible, because wet scallops will never get that nice sear on them. I call them like the candy of the ocean because they're so sweet and delicious. This is a really cool find, actually. And if you want lobsters, we have warm water lobster versus cold water. Which one do you want? Cold, because cold water are superior. Warm water tends to make the lobster meat a little more mushy. It's still good, it's lobster, but cold water from Alaska, most likely, is $29 a pound. So you get looks like four tails for 30 bucks. Go to a restaurant, it's gonna cost way more than that. Get these lobsters or those scallops with those grass-fed filet mignons. Oh man, you are a baller. Speaking of baller, king crab legs, snow crab legs, always wild caught, never farm raised. Just watch those, that show on Discovery about the dangerous fishing in Alaska. People get thrown overboard. It's really, really dangerous. But I don't really eat those because I don't like to work too hard for my food and crack open the shells. I can deal with the lobster tail, but those, not for me. All right, friends, I'm seeing if there's anything on this section here, but it's all chicken nuggets, fake Beyond Burgers, and other beef patties that are seasoned, so no. But overall, high five to Sam's. That was a really cool meat and seafood haul. If you compare it apples and apples to Costco, I think it's way better. The selections they have, especially that grass-fed steaks and fillets, are unbelievable. So that is it for the Sam's. If you want more videos at Sam's, you let me know. I'm going to try not to get run over now. Also, the Thrive Market Back to School sale is going on from the 19th to the 26th. My link down below gets you 30% off your first order and the free gift. But scoop and check out the deals for back to school that are 25% off. But from Sam's Club, I leave you like I always do. Hashtag keep on cooking. Mad love from me to you, and peace. Bye.